Mary Jane, Dope, MJ, Chronic, and Pot are just the few numerous nicknames there are for marijuana. Marijuana is an illegal drug in the United States and has many punishable criminal laws. What if we lived in a world where marijuana was legal? What if we found out that the prohibition of this drug could potentially be losing the U.S. economy billions of dollars? Dan Quayle, a U.S. representative and vice president under President Bush, was quoted saying, "We should definitely consider decriminalizing the possession of marijuana. We should concentrate on prosecuting the rapists and burglars who are a menace to society." Dan and many other government employees have been quoted saying basically the exact same thing, and that is to legalize marijuana. Hi everyone, my name is Jake Smith, and this is my presentation over the legalization of marijuana. Some people might sit and wonder, why in the world would we legalize marijuana? I myself have said the exact same thing before I began this assignment. All my life growing up, I've heard the negative effects of the drug and how poorly society views those people who abuse the drug. After doing diligent research, studying, and weighing out the overall negative and positive effects of this drug, I am now absolutely 110% convinced that marijuana should be legalized. Today I want to persuade you about the positive economic benefits that we are losing, clarify important health benefits of marijuana, and examine the problem of overcrowding in prisons because of marijuana charges. First off, I want to make everyone aware of the problem that we are facing. It is that marijuana is illegal, and we must come together as a nation and make it become legal. We are losing so many medical and economic benefits because of the legalization of the drug. There's only one significant solution to this problem, and that is just to legalize marijuana. You guys are probably thinking, Jake, there's no way that the government is going to listen to us. The problem is dealt with by a much higher power. But I think not. I think we are extremely close to making this happen. All it takes is for the nation to see what benefits we are losing and missing out on, and also the negatives of what negatives are occurring because of the legalization of marijuana. The government will have no choice but to take action and listen to the people. Joe Klein, a writer from Time magazine, wrote an article that there is an enormous potential windfall in the taxation of marijuana. It is estimated that pot is the largest cash crop in California, with annual revenues approaching $14 billion. A 10% pot tax would yield $1.4 billion in California alone. Think of the thousands of new jobs in agriculture, packaging, marketing, and advertising would be opened up for the economy. A related article from ibtimes.com states that if the government legalized marijuana, the U.S. would save $8.7 billion annually. Think of what our nation could do with that $8.7 billion every single year. If marijuana is taxed like a normal good compared to tobacco or alcohol, the U.S. could potentially rake in about $32.6 billion in tax revenue. All of this money can be allocated all over the U.S. to help decrease our national debt and help people get off of welfare and food stamps. There are so many people in the U.S. that cannot financially afford to be incarcerated over a petty marijuana crime. This brings me to my next main point of the overcrowding problem in prisons. Most all of the nation's prisons are operating at full capacity and cannot fit any more criminals. In an article by Joe Klein of Time magazine, he states we spend about $150 billion on policing and courts, and 47.5% are all drug arrests and marijuana related. That is an awful lot of money, most of it non-federal, and it could be spent on better schools and infrastructure or simply just given back to the public. Jerry Walsh also wrote an article at factoids.com that in 2007, 782,000 Americans were arrested on the marijuana charges, and 60,000 to 85,000 of those arrested were sentenced to county jail or prison terms. The average cost of incarcerating a man or a woman for the year in 2005 was $23,876. The cost of incarceration varies widely from state to state. We, the taxpayers, shoulder the burden for caring for those inmates and for their families as well, as they have to turn to public assistance to survive. Legalizing marijuana would reduce the tax burden along with the overcrowding and the need for more prisons. Besides reducing our prison population and reducing the tax burden on our citizens, legalizing marijuana would remove it from the hands of the criminal element. With around $8.7 billion saved from the legalization of marijuana, we could use this money to build more schools, hospitals, sports arena, and more importantly, help fund for the research on cancer. This brings me to my next main point about the medical benefits that marijuana provides. Marijuana is used to treat unpleasant symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, pain, and spasm, as well as the side effects of some prescription medicines. One of the major benefits that we have seen in marijuana is the relief to chronic or neopathic pain. Also, many patients who undergo chemotherapy use marijuana to decrease symptoms of nausea and vomiting. According to Livestrong.com, as of 2010, only the District of Columbia and 14 other states have enacted laws to protect the rights of a patient to use medical marijuana. Some people might say that marijuana is legalized, then related deaths will increase drastically because of the increased availability of the drug. However, in the National Institute of Drug Abuse Bureau of Mortality Statistics, every year in the United States, 400,000 people die from tobacco-related causes. Another 100,000 die from alcohol-related causes. And all of the illegal drugs put together all over the world, there are only 15,000 deaths. Alcohol and tobacco are legal substances in the United States and are extremely dangerous when abused. Marijuana, however, is a relatively safe drug that is impossible to overdose on. I want you guys to visualize a world where marijuana is legal. The results are overwhelming. The drug cartels will stop pushing illegal violence and war on our country. People on welfare will be helped to find a job and back on their feet. The U.S. national debt will start to decrease. New research will be sufficiently funded to find a cure for cancer. If no action is taken to legalize marijuana, then everything I just said will never happen. Our nation will be letting great benefits just slip away into an unreasonable imagination. There are easy ways you guys can start to take action towards the legalization of marijuana. Start focus groups in your community. Vote for political candidates that share the same passion as you about the legalization of marijuana. And let others know about these great benefits. In conclusion, we have gone over the problem of the legalization of marijuana and what benefits that we're being restricted from because of this. The solution to this problem is simple, and that is for us to come together as a nation and get this marijuana thing legalized. Because once marijuana is legalized, this economy will see more jobs for the unemployed and more money to allocate where it is most needed. And that is in the prison overflow will start to decline as marijuana offenses will not be punishable. And the medical benefits of marijuana can be further explored by scientists around the world. But it is up to us, the free people of America, to actually take action towards achieving all of these great benefits. Go out and write the governor of Oklahoma or any other political figure about these potential benefits of legalizing marijuana. They may actually change their mind and open them up to a new realm of their own testimony. We are the voice of this country, and it is our duty to educate others around us. I challenge each and every one of you today to go out and spread the awareness of the legalization of marijuana, not just for your own personal benefit, but for the entire country. I hope today that you have come to understand the importance of our marijuana situation in the United States, and I hope you found out how beneficial it would be to legalize marijuana. Thank you guys for your time, and have a good day.
Well done. Well done.